What do you understand by backlog refinement or backlog grooming? What is the most appropriate time during a sprint or an iteration to do your backlog refinement? And what are the criteria you use in order to prioritize the items in your backlog? Hello, welcome to the Safe Scrum chat room with Dr. Francis Imbunya. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button. And if you're a returning subscriber, like, put a comment. One of the reasons that we always come back, or I'm excited to be back all the time, is because you are here and definitely you're encouraging me to do more. And also remember, if you want me to do a video on something, you can always drop on a comment that okay, please can you do a video on this, and I'll put it on my backlog and I'll certainly do it. Okay, and if you want to receive coaching by me, if you're in the job market and you're finding it difficult and you need someone that could help, check on the description. You're going to find a video that's going to tell you what it takes to be in my coaching circle, and definitely we're going to help you. Now, without wasting much time, let's get into the question of the day. Backlog grooming, backlog refinement, both of them are the same thing. What is the most appropriate time in order to get into our backlog grooming or backlog refinement? Now, the most appropriate time, remember, you need to understand the rationale of backlog grooming. Backlog grooming is more like we're reorganizing, or we're trying to prioritize, or we're trying to get ready for the next iteration. So what happened when you're trying to get ready for something? Let's say you need to go out tomorrow, right? And you need to start working at 6 a.m. Maybe you plan to get up at 5:30. What do? You try to get your shoes ready, get everything ready in such a way that if you get out from bed, you're going to use less than 15 minutes to be able to finish. The same thing, that's the importance of backlog grooming. Now, you could still get up on that same day and do all of those different items, right? So, backlog grooming is more of a semi-planning. We're trying to plan ahead of time so that when the actual day when we are planning actually come, we already have things organized. Now, backlog grooming is a very important, or backlog refinement is a very important event in Agile or in Scrum or in Safe, whatsoever you're doing it. Before, it wasn't really considered too important, but now it's more like a standard event, right? So if you're in an interview and you're doubting if backlog grooming is actually an event or not, it is an event. And what's the frequency? It depends on the sprint cycle, but in most cases, if you're running a 2-week sprint cycle, it happens once every 2 weeks. Okay, for instance, if my sprint planning is going to happen next Wednesday, it's advisable for me to do my backlog grooming about 4 days before the spring planning, or minimum at least 3 days before the spring planning, so that if there are any challenges, there's anything I'm missing, I'm able to follow up with the team or with the stakeholder, with the PO, to make sure that everything is in place. And now, another typical question: if you are not there as a Scrum Master, do you have the power to cancel the backlog refinement? No. Why? Because it can still be facilitated by the PO. So what happens if you take a vacation? Do you pause everything in your organization as a Scrum Master? No. Okay, that was just an outside. Now, coming back to it, if backlog grooming is just about prioritizing, now what's the criteria we use in order to prioritize which story we're going to work on first, which story that we're going to work on second, which story is high priority, and all of that? It's not just guesswork. Remember, there's one person in the team called the product owner that is in constant communication with the stakeholders. The reason they're in constant communication is because they are working towards the release of the product we're building, right? We're not just building and letting it sit at the backlog. Immediately we're building, remember, we're building in increment and we're dispatching it. So the product owner is constantly talking to the stakeholder. When do we need this? Has anything changed? And because of those communication, we can prioritize, we can see what is urgent, we can see what is critical for us to work on. So prioritization of the backlog, the PO have a very big role to play, because the PO is the one that has like that major insight into the value of the product, into how the product is going to be released. And that also kind of gives you a bit of idea when we talk about release planning. It's more on it. Release planning help us to also prioritize the backlog because we understand how it's going to be released. All right, perfect. So we've answered the question, what is backlog refinement? It's about reorganizing your backlog and trying to make sure that you're ready for the next sprint. And then some people ask like, or should we go into detail, actually put assigning story points or actually estimating the amount of time, or is this just about reordering? Now, backlog is not just about, oh, let's reorder and there's nothing else to do. Depending on how organized your backlog is, you can even use your backlog refinement as a semi-planning, which means you go detailedly, you point your story, you make sure everything is ready, so that when you come during your sprint planning, you're spending less than 30 minutes. Now, the fact that the time box for the sprint planning is between 2 to 4 hours or averaging 4 hours doesn't mean that we need to come sit there for 4 hours. No. As a Scrum Master, one of the best gifts you can give your team is to help them save time, is to make sure that you make the work easy for them, so that something that was actually planned to take, let's say, 4 hours, you can be able to do it within an hour and still do it effectively and efficiently, right? You're saving them time to be able to really spend on doing their own work. You're also saving yourself time. So your bigger goal is not to say, oh, it was supposed to be 2 hours, we need to stay there for 2 hours. No, it's about the work has been done. So if you're definitely your backlog grooming is estimated to like spend averagely about 1 hour, 1 hour to be able to groom your backlog. So if you come within that 1 hour and you've been able to kind of picture out the work or the scope of the work that you can do for the next iteration, and you're already kind of good within 15-20 minutes, you might say, okay, let's kind of zoom maybe 2 weeks ahead and see what next is there. If you do that within maybe 30 minutes and everything is over, the event is over, right? And how do we prioritize it? By getting information from the product owner. The product owner is having this conversation with the stakeholders, so that they can be able to understand what is in priorities. That's why we can reprioritize, we can reorder based on the changes in the market. Okay, that's backlog grooming. And what time do we do our backlog grooming? It's good to do our backlog grooming in the middle of the sprint, so that we get ready for the other sprint. Now, for a new team, if you get into your company and the team has never practiced Scrum or Agile before, and you need to start, you're the first one to bring in the Scrum ceremonies and other stuff. Now, there's what we call the Sprint Zero. Sprint Zero is more like trying to organize the backlog, trying to understand the different values, trying to put things together, and try to see, understand the system they're going to use in building. So you're more or less introducing your team on how things may go. That is more of, I would say, an enlarged backlog refinement, right? Called Sprint Zero. Yeah. But when we do that, Sprint Zero is just making you understand the project, how you want to prioritize it, understanding your team capacity, understanding your team velocity. And for team capacity and team velocity for new teams, the default is, if you're using story point, the default is assign each team within a 2-week cycle a story point. If your team is using hours, assign by default 40 hours. And then you always know that you have to always do what we call normalized estimation, which means you're leaving excess time, you're leaving some time for your team to be able to handle unforeseen. If maybe a team member is absent for 1 or 2 days, it should not really greatly affect the sprint goal. Why? Because you're doing normalized estimation. All right, that was it for today. And for those who are looking forward to become Scrum Master certified, our next training is going to be coming up in the fortnight, in the next 2 weeks. And definitely, if you need coaching, check. And if you need more resources, like maybe, oh, I just want to check my resume, or I just want to understand how to build my case study, or I just want to understand to say, tell me about yourself. Now, we are building a resource page where you can go get all of those. Okay, one new thing that's coming, which a lot of people have requested, it is also, we're building a Facebook community where we'll be able to kind of answer more direct questions, get more engaging. I'm also going to put the link below this video. You can go click there, request to join our Facebook community. kind of do more of live session in there, and also find time to respond to questions that are coming in there, so that the whole community can learn. All right. Have a great day. Have a great week. I'll see you tomorrow.